वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्. All right. Chapter 2 and verse 55. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Prajahati Yada Kaman Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogataan Sarvan Parthamanogataan Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Sthithpragnas tadochyate Sthithpragnas tadochyate. The blessed Lord said, O Parth, Arjun. Parth means Arjun. When a man discards all his desires, visiting the mind and is self-satisfied in own self, he is said to be stable in wisdom. Atmanyevatmana tushtaha. Self-satisfied in own self. Okay. So, Bhagwan started describing about Sthithpragna, steady in wisdom. So, initially for this, according to the Gospel of the Geeta, that's our scripture, a striver can attain perfection. Here perfection means God realization by any discipline, that of disinterested action or devotion. Right? Disinterested, nishkam, without any expectation, which he follows according to his interest. Some may like devotion, some may like just to act, to put in action. So, according to his interest and liking, and his perfection is described by that means only. A striver following the discipline of devotion worships God constantly, meditating on Him with exclusive devotion. Therefore, in the enlightened state, he becomes free from malice towards all being. In the discipline of knowledge, the striver perceives himself detached from these gun. Gun is attributes or modes, and he is above them. And in the enlightened state, he sits like a witness firmly established in God, beyond all the gun, having risen above them. Similarly, in Karma Yoga, only action. Okay. In Karma Yoga, it is the abandoning of all desires that is important. Hence, The enlightened soul abandons all desires in these words. Bhagavan Krishna dwells upon this point. Okay. So the three paths, Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. For our understanding, I am using this word. For us, it's still easy. It's not easy, but still you can say that Bhakti Yoga, where it is very clearly described, meditating, okay, worshipping God, japa, okay, namasmaran, keep on chanting Bhagwan's name. These are all fall under the category of Bhakti Yoga or the devotion. Knowledge, it is told here. The striver perceives himself detached from these. For us to keep ourselves detached is not, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's not that easy. I wouldn't say it's hard. It's not that easy. Similarly, in Karma Yoga, it is abandoning all of desires. For us, that is also but of challenge. But in other way, as I was explaining in one of the previous classes, be it Karma Yoga or Gnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, devotion. Karma Yoga, action. Gnan, knowledge. These three are all interlinked. If I don't have bhakti, I won't act. If I don't have knowledge, I don't act. It's very simple. Simple. Okay? Now, here Bhagavan has started from these words, Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan. It means that desires does not exist in the self, because the self is everlasting while desire is transient. It's very simple. Very simple. Okay. Because our desire, it's told here, these desires are transient and self eternal, everlasting, all the time. We had desire in our childhood. Then adolescence is change, young is change, old age is change. It's changing. It's changing. Whereas the self, me, I, is always there. Self is always there. So it does not stay permanently in the mind, but comes into it. It comes. And we say, I was thinking like that. I wish if I. So that it comes. But the man, by identifying himself with the body, senses, mind, and intellect, accept the desire, visiting the mind as resting in his own self. That is very tricky thing, right? It comes and it goes. But we establish the connection, and that is the cause. I have mentioned so many times that mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayoho. That's from the Amrut Pindopnishad. It's the mind. That creates the bondage, and that creates the freedom. That can make you free. So it comes, but comes into it. Manogatan, mind. Okay. Jahati. And here they have put the prefix prajahati. Prajahati yada kaman. Indicates that there is no trace of any desire left in him. totally desire free. Bear in mind, Bhagavan is describing Sthithpragna. So, if at all we have to uh, make it easy to understand how one can be Sthithpragna, then first, as per Bhagavan's description about Sthithpragna, is desire free person. Absolutely no desire. I have read one incident, not, one guru's, or whether it was in his biography or somewhere, the guru's name is Nikhileswaranand. So, whether it was for himself or he was writing for his guru, something that I don't remember, but I remember that incident. Okay. Normally, the sannyasi, they carry that container which is known as kamandal. Kamandal. Right? So, he started the next day journey because it is said in Hindi even, sadhu do chalda bala. He doesn't have to stay at one place. Keep going, keep going. Because the moment he stays more than certain days, then he definitely is going to get attached with that place, with the people. So sadhu do chalda bala. So he left that kamandal, and then he remembers that, oh, I forgot my kamandal. So he told his disciple or the follower, you name anything, that just bring my kamandal. And the disciple or the follower was really a good disciple. He counter questioned, Kamandal and yours? Are you getting me? When you renounce, then you can't say my Kamandal. Small thing. I have read this many years back. The incidents I remember, the name I remember, but that Nikhileswaranandji, but he was writing for about himself or what about his guru, that I totally don't remember. So, absolutely no desire, complete renunciation. So, a man can neither renounce his own self nor the things which are not his own, but he can renounce only the things which actually are not his own. But he has mistaken them as his own. My commander, my house, my shop, my iPhone, my computer, my laptop, my iPad, and it goes on and on. So what it says here, but he has mistaken them as his own. Similarly, desires do not exist in one's own self, but one accepts them as existing in one's own self. So he has to cast them off. Of course, you might thinking that yeah, it's easy to read. It's easy on the paper. It's not that easy. Yes, I do agree. I do agree. But at some point, we have to start. Some point. The term kaman prajahati yada kaman sarvan parth manogatan. The next word kaman. Kaman is desires. The term kaman also includes the term sarvan, all. Yet sarvan has been added to emphasize the fact that every fragment of all the desires should be cast off. That is the sannyas. I mean, we have very clear, very clear definition of sannyasi. Yeah, of course, we are talking here about the Sthithpragna, but the word sannyas, renounce, came, that's why I'm telling you, that the sannyas, we cannot recognize him with the outfit, with the orange robe. The person can be in house, person can be householder, and yet sannyasi. Very clearly Bhagwan has mentioned this in the 18th chapter. We don't know when we're going to take the 18th chapter. I think the second verse Bhagwan has told, Kamyanam karmanam nyasa sannyasam kavayo viduho. No, absolute. He will act, but absolutely no desire. No desire. So, Atmanye vatmana tushtaha. After abandoning all the desires completely, a man is satisfied in himself and with himself. He is spontaneously contented in his own self. The satisfaction or the contentment is a big wealth. In the Sanskrit, there's a saying, Santosha eva purushasya param nidhanam. Person's great wealth or the treasure is satisfaction, contentment. That is important. That's why this Bhagavad Gita is for all of us. Even the small thing can bring a big change in one's life. It can be you or me. I always quote this. Ekajade chinagari mahanala, ekajade chinagari. Chinagari means spark. One small spark. But that can change that. Forget about everything in this, all that 18 verses of Sthithpragna. If we can put in practice this contentment, satisfaction, is enough to change our life, enough to change our thinking, enough to change our lifestyle. Now, furthermore, it says contentment is of two kinds. One is said virtue as it relates to inner sense. It is there as a result of no desire in the inner sense. But the other kind is the self itself, as the self never has any trace of discontentment. Chidanandarupah Shivoham Shivoham. I am that supreme reality. Then nothing is lacking me. I am perfect. Purnamada Purnavidam Purat Puramudachyate. So as the self never has any trace of discontentment, so it is called contentment, incarnate the self itself. The later contentment is eternal. You can say, hey, that is inbuilt. Only thing we need to discover it. It knows no change. It knows no change. It is spontaneous. It is not the result of any practice or thought. The intellect of such a contented man always remains steadfast automatically. When we discuss this kind of, it's but hard topic, it's but hard subject, okay, but we are here to study Gita, okay. Gita is not a book to read. For read we have the chanting class. We are here to study. And when we study, yes, there are some challenges. There are certain topics or the subjects or the points or the words which is really difficult. But we are studying this. So the small thing, but if we try to put in practice, that will definitely bring a big change in our life. And for that, we need to practice. Right? So, the intellect of such a contented man always remains steadfast automatically. Sthithpragna tadochyate. Actually, a man is always steady in wisdom, but when he accepts his desires because of unsteady mind, he does not realize his stableness in wisdom. When he abandons his desires, accepts the non-existence of desires, he realizes his stability in wisdom. A striver has to make effort to concentrate his mind. But by renouncing desires, he does not have to do so. Instead, he attains this stage in a spontaneous manner. Okay. So, as I was telling us, a small thing. If you pick up one word here, what it says, a striver has to make effort to concentrate his mind. Okay? Okay. We want to achieve that state, but we can't directly jump on the 10th step. Okay? The first step, simple. Concentrate mind. Concentration of mind. And we try. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. Definitely not. But we try. For 5 seconds, 10 seconds. Okay. Slowly, gradually. Okay. In the discipline of action, the striver is concerned with actions more than anything else. You know why I was saying in the beginning that this action, and especially actions, mean here when we're talking disinterested, meaning without any expectation, nirapex, without any expectation. The problem is, end of the day, We are human. So even if we do something, back of the mind that we accept this to be acknowledged this way or that way, directly or indirectly. Many years back, I mean, you can say literally 25 years when I came here. It was very beginning of my in South Africa. So that time we used to keep the Mandir open, the gate and everything open. Only inside shutter is locked. If you remember, now we have the donation box on both sides of the shutter. But then in those days, when you close the shutter, the money box was there. Just you put your hand and put the money in the money box, not both sides. So someone has put some money, whatever it is, and then he phoned the chairman. It's anonymous, but I have put some money. Then why should you phone? Then he phoned the chairperson, and chairman phoned me because we, with the treasurer, used to open the money box once a week or as per the conveniency. So I said, well, when we open, we'll see. You getting my point?
It's 20 hours.
The person wants to remain unknown, but similarly, he still wants to inform somebody. He may not have introduced, maybe in those days, even the mobile was not there. So, and maybe everybody does not have facility of the one, even on the landline, the caller ID. So, in a way, he might be unknown, and it's not that easy to recognize everybody's voice. So it's maybe, but what I'm saying that if he does not want to disclose his identity, then why should he phone? Because once the money is in box, then only the authorized person like treasurer, and then they can only open, and it is responsible that you have to put in the bank or whatever it is. But I'm saying that, but still that person did phone. I do remember that. No. I mean, it's just a donate. I don't want any receipt or anything, but I just want to let you know. But you rather let Bhagwan know, and he knows. He knows. All pervading. So that's what I'm saying. In the Karma Yoga, even if we are doing, and in that context, I was saying it's not that easy for us. I don't blame that man. I don't blame that man. I mean, human. We are all human. So it's natural. It's natural. It's natural. We have not achieved that stage. So in the discipline of action, the striver is concerned with actions more than anything else. Action without selfish motive is said to be the means for says certain yoga. Therefore, such a striver is concerned with actions relating to the stage when he is a striver as well as when he is an enlightened soul. Whatever standard an enlightened soul sets, people is general follow the same. It's the chapter 3 and verse 21. Yad yad acharati sreshtat tat tat devetaro janaha sapramanam kuruyat lokastadanuvartis. Lokastadanuvarti. One word this or that. I'm just by heart sharing this with you. Yad yad acharati sreshtas tat tat devetaro janaha. Very clearly said that whatever the leader or the big man or the saint or the great man does or do, right? People are going to follow them. Whatever standard they keep, people are going to follow them. Follow them. Yeah. So the Lord has explained in the 4th chapter also that the striver following the discipline of disinterested action while performing action remains detached, and while remaining detached he performs actions now. In the 53rd verse, Bhagavan has advised two things to Arjuna: to keep his intellect immovable regarding spiritual doctrine and steady in God. So he has used the term yada, when, and tada, then, which explain that a striver is called stable in wisdom when he is completely free from desire. Completely free from desire. If it is not possible completely, as I told you earlier, from some corner of my life, some part of my life, I'll do that, and absolutely there is no hidden agenda. No hidden agenda. I just did it. That's it. Which explains that a striver is called stable in wisdom when he is completely free from desire and is satisfied in the self. It also means that he is called a striver so long as he has even a fragment of desire left, and an enlightened soul when desires are totally renounced. Therefore, two important factors have been explained in the verse: to renounce the desire and to get established in God. The same two factors have been explained in verses 56, 7, 8, 9, 60, 61, 62. Yeah. So that we're going to see that, right? Okay. And yeah, we're going to conclude today's class now. Okay. We're still going to discuss a little bit on this verse, but we will see in next week. Okay. And in today's discussion, whatever you like, credit goes to all the saints, all the great men. Okay, whatever I have heard, I have read, I have studied, I am just sharing with you. And as you know, our main reference book is Sadhak Sanjavini from Swami Ram Sukdas Ji. We will recite the 73rd verse of 18th chapter. Okay. नष्टो मोहः स्मृतिर्लब्धा त्वत्प्रसादान्मयाच्युत स्थितोऽस्मि गतसन्देहः करिष्ये वचनं तव.